Okay. In this module or section, I want to expand a little bit more on what I said in the welcome video. Things that you'll hear me say often. Number one, slow down to speed up. Too often, we just haphazardly do things. And we do a 21-day challenge or a 30-day challenge or 75 hard. And then when it's over, and we don't complete anything. And or you don't continue what you learn, or because you weren't organized, because you weren't prepared, you get frustrated, you throw your hands up in the air and you quit. Okay. Slow down to speed up. We're going to do things differently than you've ever done before. Because not only, like, one of the things I congratulated you, I said, you have put yourself to the side for too long. But at the same time, this is what we know with working with so many women is that we are addicted. You are addicted to being overstressed, overworked, overplanned, overcommitted, putting everyone else first besides yourself, but you're addicted to it. And sometimes we sabotage ourselves because we are addicted to it. And it's what I call the devil we know. It's easier to go with the devil we know than to actually make a change. In order for things to change, it's not about just changing your actions, it's going to be changing your thought process. Another thing you'll hear me say often, debt and regret weighs tons, debt and regret. Debt and regret weighs tons, but discipline weighs ounces. That's from one of my favorite mentors, Jim Rohn. And I want you to think about discipline. Everyone has the same amount of discipline each day, but it's about taking the time to be organized. Food prepping. I hate food prepping, but I'm always happy that I did it because it saved me time the rest of the week. Now, are you going to have to food prep? No, it's really dependent on you. I'm not going to talk about that right now. But that's why we're taking this time now to lay the right foundation, to get organized. There's things that you have that, and I'll talk about that, but just understand, you're like, Lydia, I'm ready to get started now. I get that. Small manageable changes in the right direction will yield huge results. See, some of you are here maybe because you were at my live masterclass, or maybe you opted into Hormone Reset 101. And some of this is going to look familiar to you if you did opt into the Hormone Reset 101. Or maybe you were part of our elite VIP mentorship program, Master Blueprint. Because the reason it looks familiar, because certain things are never going to change. Simple as that. You have access to the Hormone Reset 101 and modules. You're going to have access, or already it's public access to our Strong Beauty Method podcast, where I talk about a lot of the foundational things that you're going to learn and we're going to expand on within the Hormone Reset system or program. But right now, we have to get you organized, because the next thing, once we get you organized, like you're doing your measurements, you clean out your kitchen, you have your tools, the apps, all the things that you need, then we're going to show you how to do our hormone reset cleanse and your specific macros. See, I'm thinking a lot of things right now, but I want you to understand is that the hormone reset, everything that we do is a lifetime program. Why? It's because the science and tactics and protocols that we use are designed to take you through every stage of your life. One of the things you'll hear me say is measure, monitor, and adjust. And because of the tactics, the protocols, the science behind the things that we do, you're able to always measure, monitor, and adjust. Let's say, God forbid, an accident happens, so you get injured. You're like, oh, I'm off track. I got injured. I can't do anything. Well, we'll show you how to measure, monitor, and adjust. Or you went on vacation, and after vacation, you just kept staying on vacation. Well, we'll show you how to measure, monitor, and adjust. Let's say, well, guess what? Aging is inevitable, right? We know no matter how well you take care of yourself, how clean you eat, how hard you work out, you're going to go through hormonal decline. Our body's going to constantly go through shifts. You might have a stressful time in your life that impacts your body. Guess what? We're going to show you how to measure, monitor, and adjust. So it's really important for you to understand that you'll never need another program ever again, another program, another system. As long as you always maintain an active membership with us, you'll always have the ability to measure, monitor, and adjust, and you'll always have the support. That's what's really cool. And when it comes to Ryan and I, if new science evolves or is presented to us, or we find a better way to do things, then we put it in there. We don't hold on to it. We're like, okay, we need to give this to our ladies. We need to give this to our clients. So you're always going to be up to date. You're always going to have the latest tools and everything that you need. Very cool. Yeah, high five. Ah. So I wanted to share that with you, but laying the foundation is really important. Getting yourself organized, changing your mindset, and changing how you do things. Small manageable changes in the right direction will yield huge results. Messy mind, messy environment equals messy mind, right? I have a ton of them in here, and you're going to hear me say that. That's why it's really important that we say, okay, right now, I'm going to start putting myself first. That means scheduling yourself in. Doesn't matter if it's 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes a week, an hour a week, however you want to do it, whatever you can emotionally commit to right now. Here's an example. In the beginning of the year, about a year ago, I knew that I had to get back to stretching because my body was getting really tight. I was working out, I was doing all the things except what was really important, and that was the stretching part of it. And I'm like, and I'm so busy. I didn't want to take an extra 5 minutes to do it, but I committed to it. I said, okay, I'm going to do 5 minutes each day. That's what I was ready to commit to. And I'll talk more about, like a good, better, best and things like that. But I committed to 5 minutes. That's what I could do emotionally. Well, 5 minutes turned into 20 minutes eventually. So commit what you can commit to. Whatever it's going to take for you to get through the process. Understand slowing down to speed up doesn't mean snail's pace, but it doesn't matter how fast or slow you go through the system. It's that you're just continually moving forward. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Just worry about what you're able to implement. And again, you're like, Lydia, but I'm ready now. Okay, hang on a second. Now, schedule yourself in. Next thing I'm going to suggest is that you print everything out, that you get a binder. Ryan and I create all this stuff. We know it. We still, well, I do. It drives Ryan crazy, but I like to put things in binders. I like to highlight things. I like to mark things up with my pen. So that's what I do. And you see my hole punch. You have checklists, you have worksheets, and you have Excel files. The checklist is basically taking you through the foundation. Cleaning out your kitchen, doing your measurements, what apps to download, most common mistakes, like all the things that the steps that you need to take. Your worksheets are going to be like your best body assessment. It's where you put your measurements. It's going to have where you do your goals and work through some things of self-sabotage and what is it that you really want and what obstacles that you need to overcome. It's also going to give you a food list to start with right now. This is not your cleanse food list, but this is a base food list to help get you started. Again, if you're familiar with Hormone Reset 101, then you've noticed that this looks familiar because it's the base of reducing inflammation, balance your hormones, and resetting your metabolism. And really what we're trying to help you do is just get control of your schedule and your life. All right, so you're going to print things out. You're going to put them in a binder. You're going to get yourself organized. You're going to schedule yourself in. Now you're going to do all, and I'll talk about your measurements. You're going to download your apps, all of those things. I'm going to talk about that in another module, but also understand you have your checklists, you have your worksheets, and then some months you're going to have Excel files. Within this month, you have two. It's your progress tracker and you have your hormone profile diagnostic. Teresa, who helps put our content together, keep us organized. Not only is she our team member, but she's a client and she's been with us for years and she knows the system front, backward, sideways, all the things. And she really helps us put sheets together, PDFs and Excel files to make our life easier, but also make your life easier. Why am I sharing that with you? Because she's going to do basically a little tech tutorial to show you how to use those Excel sheets. And as we go through the system, you'll learn why the hormone profile diagnostic is important and how we do your protocols, your hormone macro coding, typing, all of that. So I'm going to stop there. One last thing. You're like, I'm ready to get started. Okay. So what do? You're going to go look at the checklist. You're going to go to page 13. Talks about your apps. I suggest that you download the Lose It app. I can't wait till we have our own app. We're actually working on an app, and it will be Prego. Prego, it's in there. But what you're going to do right now for the next 7 days, you have to identify where you are. You want to go to Disney World. I always talk about Disney World. First of all, you have to identify where you want to go. You just don't want to say Disney. If you just say Disney, then you could end up at Disney World. You can end up Disneyland. You can end up Disney Springs, downtown Disney. So you have to have an exact idea where you want to go. And I'll talk more about that on a different module. But not only that, then you have to identify where are you currently. If you want the fastest route, you have to know where you are. So that means that you're going to track things for the next 7 days. You're like, I don't want to track. Stop it. You're going to do things differently this time, and you're going to do them for real, and you're going to get results. That's why we're here. So you're going to track the next 7 days. We need to identify where are you? How many calories are you taking in? How much protein grams, how much fat grams, and how much carbohydrate grams? Don't judge anything. I always say, take the judgmental oculars off, set them to the side, inspect, right? That's all we're doing. We're inspecting what we're doing. So as we move forward, those things will make more sense to you. Now, you want more information, go to the Strong Beauty Method podcast. I did a whole series of mastering your metabolism, talking more about macros. And don't worry, I'm going to teach you, Ryan and I are going to teach you all the ins and outs of hormone macro coding and typing. But that can give you a good foundation, and I'll have them put the link to the podcast in here to make it easier for you. But that's where you're going to start. You're like, well, what do I eat? You have the food list within the worksheets, within and like I said, that list are your top anti-inflammatory foods. It is not the cleanse list. And it's just the basics of balancing your hormone, resetting your metabolism, and really start taking charge of your life. So I'm going to end it there. That's first part of laying the foundation, is just basically, let's get a little organized. Go through the steps, schedule yourself in. I don't care how fast or slow you go, as long as you keep going. Get it? Got it? Good. All right, I'll see you on the next